So today we are going to go through different ways to use Altos in your business. And some of these things are going to overlap a little bit, but I'm hoping to share some unique things when it comes to like lead generation, right? Things that maybe you aren't thinking about, to start to incorporate it, to get your juices flowing and figure out what ways that you might want to either learn more about or head in that direction. Okay. So I'm going to share with you some resources. One of those resources is scheduling a coaching session with me if one of these things sounds intriguing and you'd like to have a little bit more guidance. Okay. And so when I said we're going to go probably at lightning speed, we probably are. And I'm going to be doing a lot of toggling back and forth to this image. Okay. And the first thing on our list is lead generation. Now, you might be using some sort of form of lead generation, but I'm going to share some new ideas. Okay. How can you improve maybe something that you're already doing? So with lead generation, you can use obviously those reports, how you're sharing those reports. Okay. So I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to go to my account here. This is my account, should look familiar. You have an account similar to this, right? And so one of the ways to obtain leads is through the report. You share the report, people choose to subscribe. How can you increase that possibility, right? How can you increase the amount of people who might be interested in your reports? One way is to use our form, the lead form, okay? So we have a lead form that you can generate, that you can share in your signature. You can share it on Facebook. You can go ahead and add it to newsletters. This form, instead of just launching the report, will launch a form to fill out and request any of the reports that are within your account. Where does the form live? So if you go to your account, you're on your reports page, you can just click on that first embed button. And when you click on that first embed button, you'll notice that you have images, but along the top, you also have what's called a lead form. When you click on the lead form, it's easy. You just determine if someone were to fill out the form, what campaign do I want them to receive? That is the delivery vehicle, basically. It's the email communication they receive with the location of interest. Well, this way, one of the things you can do is create a unique signature campaign. That way, you can monitor where this lead is coming from. You can verify whether or not it's worth your while to have this link within your signature. So I'm going to select that signature campaign. Now, the next step is, all right, you can select all reports. This will allow whomever's filling out that form to request whatever report that's within your account. Great. Now, that is it. Honestly, you can copy the link here. You can click the button to copy the link. And if you'd like to embed the form on a web page, be aware it is an iframe. So you want to make sure that whatever platform you're using does support iframes. This is awesome. Okay. Again, you could have the form on your website, and we'll get to that in a second as well. But let's just say we want the link. We're going to copy the link. Okay. Now, what would happen if we click on the link? Well, we just paste it here, on click, loads the form. Okay. So imagine taking this link, creating a hyperlink in your signature that says, never miss a beat. Stay on top of the market. Get your report today. However you want to frame that, right? The idea is you want to help your clients answer the question, how's the market today? And what can we see moving forward, right? And so now in your signature, never miss a change in the market. Get your report today. On click, loads the form. They fill out the form. They can choose however many reports they want. And then they scroll down, send reports, keep me informed. They're automatically added to your campaign, and they will receive report after report every week, okay? That is a lead. So because you program it to be a signature campaign, you're going to know when you go to your contact database where they came from, your signature, okay? Now, the luxury of this form is the fact that you can create multiple forms, because now I have all these different campaigns. I can have a website form. a signature form, a Facebook form, and you make sure that the communication associated to that campaign is about that direction. Hey, thanks for visiting me on Facebook, or whatever the case might be. Okay. So that's one. So that's one way that you may not realize that you can utilize a tool within your account to get additional leads. Okay. Now, what if you're already sharing reports all the time? Okay. And you're sharing reports and you wanted people to subscribe, right? How can you increase the likelihood that those will subscribe? Here's one of my reports, right? And I click on subscribe, and then of course I end up as a lead within the contact database. Well, this search function is amazing, but you might want to rethink whether or not you're just going to let people get whatever report they want. There is a way to configure your report so that on search, they have to actually provide their information, i.e., they're going to be a lead. Okay. So, how do you configure the search? If you don't know, in your account on your landing page, which is the reports page, we're going to go and click on customize. Click on customize, scroll down. This all looks familiar potentially. This is where you change your customization, but you may not ever click on advanced. Click on advanced, and now you can change the lead form level. Mine is currently on subscribe only, but you can do on search. So they do a search, and on search, it pops up the subscribe window. In addition to that, if you want to get really in there, you can do forced, where when they scroll around the report, the subscribe button pops up, or the box. Okay. So you may or may not realize that that exists. Okay. So that is another way to really, pump it up your game. So if you are already sharing reports, or you have reports on your website and maybe you want to get more leads and you're not quite sure, well, this is a good way, because that search function is really important, right? And it's really insightful to see where people are searching. And now you can get more leads by just changing the lead level. Okay. All right. So hopefully those are some great ideas when it comes to new ideas generating new leads. Okay. Now, if we toggle back to our image, you'll see the next one on our list is email campaigns. So I didn't get to check out the poll, but I believe many of you are probably using the drip email campaigns. And if you haven't, you really should, right? Drip email campaigns allow you to nurture your existing clients, right? It's really great information. The last few years has been pretty wild. And these reports have been lifesavers, really. There's been so much anxiety in the world on every topic. And in every topic, how do you relieve some of that anxiety? Follow the data. You've got access to the data. Let's relieve some anxiety, right? It's not that the reports are going to say something that you hope it to say, but being in the know is super important. So, what are the email drip campaign possibilities? So, we're going to go back to my account. Now, when you access your account, you'll see campaigns. So you might be using campaigns, but are you using it to the best ability? When you click on campaigns, when you open an account with us, you're automatically equipped with 4 different campaigns. You're not stuck with them. Those 4 are so that you don't have to start from scratch. So you can create additional campaigns easily, but maybe you just don't know what type of campaigns you should create. Well, we learned one today, your signature campaign. So here's a signature campaign. If we click on preview, staying on top of the market is so important these days, whether you're toying with the idea of buying or selling, you're renting, or even just checking in on a recent investment of your home purchase. I want to be your real estate expert. Here's this week's market report. Be sure to utilize the search function to access any area of interest. I'm here to help. Reach out with any questions about the report or anything real estate. Okay, great, easy peasy. Whatever is assigned to your contact will populate here. But this is the signature. Remember, that way you can see where they're coming from. Now, another popular thing to do is use this to filter through your purchased leads. Let's say you're buying leads from Zillow or you're buying leads from realtor.com, all these inbound leads, and you really don't know if they're alive even, right? Sadly to say. Well, how are you following up with these leads today? Are you calling each one? Are you emailing each one? Consider using the Altos system to manage those leads. So as you can see, I have quite a few different things, but there's one called Zillow Lead. If we preview this one, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Jessica Lucke, a local realtor. Although we haven't had an opportunity to connect quite yet, I like to keep my clients updated about the market happenings with my localized market reports. Okay, great. If you're interested in other locations, use the search function, reach out if you have any questions, and let's connect soon. The idea here is you haven't touched base with them yet, but you like to supply all of your clients with up-to-date market reports. Okay, here's how it works. You add all of your leads, add them to this campaign, assign them the location of interest, whatever that might be. And as that gets sent, you will have these indicators of who's opened the email. Those are the leads that you go after. Those are the leads that you now know they're valid, that you can go ahead and communicate with them. So you filtered through those existing leads. Pretty smart way to go about it, okay? So all different types of ideas, just know that this is a great way to utilize your account. Add all of your contacts. You're welcome to segregate your contacts into buyers and sellers and previous buyers, but it's not 100% necessary. You can have one campaign that you use. You can do 10 different campaigns. You can get creative, have different strategies, okay? The idea here is to definitely take advantage of the idea, okay? So hopefully some of these ideas resonate with you and inspire you to try something different, okay? So don't forget, if you have questions or you're interested in more strategizing around campaigns, I'm here. So you can always book a session with me. All right. All right. The next one, website content. So if you've got a website, take the data, add it to your website. It's one of the number one questions people ask. How's the market? Right? Sitting on an airplane, you say you're in real estate. How's the market? Happens every single time. Well, your website should reflect the most common questions. It should provide information on those most common questions. Right? So I've got a bunch of examples. And so we're going to go with that. All right. So I'm going to share with you some examples that I've pulled up of folks who are incorporating the information in different ways. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to implement. Okay. So this is a website, and then there's a menu along the top. All we have to do is click on housing market, and we scroll down. And this is the Phoenix housing market. Well, they have some great images. So they brought in some great images to represent the locations. But notice we've got our real-time market profile. All of the components that make up the report live as an independent object, not just as an image, but also as an HTML tag. And all you have to do is copy it and paste it where you want it to live. Now, if you're working with somebody who helps you with your website, awesome. I can show you how to get them access to that information, okay? So here, what I love about our HTML is that once you implement it, it updates on its own week after week. You don't have to do anything else. Spend a little time up front, it takes care of itself. Even better, on click loads the latest version of that report. So that workflow is really great. Hey, I'm a prospective buyer. I want to know about the market. I'm interested in Scottsdale. I click on the link, I look at the report, and I subscribe. That workflow for that prospect is awesome. So something to consider. This is the market action index. I mean, this is the profile. We have the market action index, and you can also use charts. The next one is San Diego. Now, this one is great. Different. They go about it a little differently. If we scroll down, you'll see that they have focused on San Diego, California market report. They used each one. So there's the market action index, the real-time market profile, and a chart. Each one is an active image. You can see it goes from a pointer to a finger. Okay, great. So this is how they chose to display it. In addition to this, you scroll down and they have it broken down by community. So we click on learn more and you go to Carlsbad and we scroll down. And there's a bunch of information about Carlsbad. And they have some content. These are all homes. We go back. But you can go and break it down into the different segments as well. So you can take the market action index and put it on each of the pages as well. Okay. The next one is important because it also will show you what it's like to use that search function and be prompted with the subscription. Okay. So this one, they chose to put it as a downloadable object. Okay. So we click on downloads and see they have this image, get our market report. So when we click on this, it's going to load. Now notice, this is loading the report inside the web page. They did this by using an iframe command. So that's a possibility as well. So as we scroll down, you'll see that it's within the iframe and they very much focus on the ability to print. Okay, so share, print. Now, if I go in here and I say, okay, Los Gatos, and I say, oh, this is mine, ta-da, I'm being prompted that in order to view the content, I have to subscribe. Remember, that's a possibility and that's configured under customization of reports under advanced. Okay. The next one, similar. Okay. Again, this is just copying HTML tags. Bend, Oregon is a little bit different. I just wanted to show that you can show in a menu. So this is the website. Great. Go to the menu, click on market trends, and these are big. But this is an example of the market action index. This is what's really well received on social media. The reason is it's really easy to understand that it's a seller's market, right? Because it's highlighted. I love the market action image. I call it my speedometer. The higher the number, the hotter the market. But I really love the fact that it's saying, hey, how's the market today and how does it compare to this time last month? Remember that the first layer here represents right now at 39. The gray is a running 30 days back. So it's just a hair hotter than it was this time last month. Okay. So a series of these is great. And again, it turns into an active image. So it loads the full version of the report. Okay. All right. And then lastly, this one is unique because if we scroll down, they chose to incorporate the search function. So we've seen my report. We use the search function. Well, you have the HTML necessary to embed that search function right into your website. And so here, Los Gatos, and then this pops up and I can choose it and it's going to go ahead and open up that report. All right. So quite a few different options are available. All of them are super simple. Okay. So we're going to switch gears and then of course, go back to my account here. Okay. How is it that you can get those objects? We've looked at the report. You've got your real-time market profile. You've got your market action index. You've got your large chart. Well, for every location within your account, you have an associated embed button. So if we did want to focus on just San Jose, right? You can do the filter and we can go ahead and say, okay, click on embed. Your first choices are the images. Do you want a chart? Configure it the way that you want. Do you want the market profile? And I'm going to share best practice. Think about the market profile. It's all great. There's a lot of information on there. But what is prompting them to want more? Because how much more do you need? Okay. In the sense of, I don't know what I don't know. Okay. But if you use the market action index, this is, hey, it's a strong seller's market and it's hotter than it was this time last month. Click the image to view more. Great. because I didn't give it all out already. So something to consider. Okay. Now, what's awesome is that you have the ability to download the image. You have the ability to get an image link. So on click load image, but what you want for this is copy image HTML. The HTML is here too if you want to see it and copy it there as well. Copy image HTML, paste it where you want it to live. That's as easy as it gets. Okay. Whether you want the market action index, you want the market profile, or you want the chart, each one has the ability to obtain the file to get the HTML. Okay. Now, remember, you've got the lead form. That's another thing that you can incorporate into your website. Remember, it's an iframe. And then you've got the search box. That's it. There's your link. So if you want a link, so on click loads, so we can do that. If you want to embed it, this is what you need. Again, it's an iframe. Embed the search function. You just want to make sure that you write something around it. So for example, if we copy the link here and we go to my form and we paste it, this is what the search function looks like. See the latest market trends. You probably want to give a little bit of information about what it is that they're searching for, what is going to be presented, right? But that's easy stuff. All you have to do again is click on the associated embed button. And the lead form and the search function, you can click on any of the embed buttons. But as far as the images are concerned, you want to go on the location of interest. Okay, so hopefully that too inspires you to potentially integrate this into your website. Websites, e-newsletters, they kind of work the same. So if you're using e-newsletters and you want to incorporate Altos into your newsletter, great. Think about that. Whatever tool you're using for your e-newsletter, verify whether or not you can utilize HTML. And the great thing is that you can have a special spot every time your newsletter goes out that is for market reports. And you don't have to update it if you integrate that HTML. Okay, remember, images are standalone, they don't change. The HTML will update week after week. Okay, all right, so let's go back to our image. The next one, social marketing, social media, right? And I commonly joke around a little bit about, you can only talk about how to spruce up your front yard so much on Facebook, right? When it comes to Facebook and your business page, any of your social media, right? You want to provide valuable content. And these reports are really, really well received. Okay. And it's very easy to share, whether you're sharing it or your clients are sharing it. The nice thing is that there's no configuration required. So if we go to a report and we click on share, I got to keep moving my little head. We click on share and I click on Facebook, right? Great. You just choose an image that you want to share, write a post around it, and click share. It's good to go. LinkedIn and Twitter work the same way. In fact, here's LinkedIn. Okay, and I shared it already. So what I'm going to do, I can share it to anyone or just my connections, right? And in this case, I said, as we head into spring, it's a hot seller's market in San Jose. As the image below indicates, it's even hotter than it was this time last month. Click the image below to view the full version of the report. Never miss a beat. Search for any city and/or zip of interest and click subscribe to receive an update each week. Okay, great. That's all you got to do. The key with your social media posts is, what is the goal? Is your goal to create some activity within your business page or within LinkedIn? Do you want to create conversation? Pose a question, right? You could say, hey, as we head into summer, what are we expecting? What do you think is going to happen with the market as we head into summer? And then get people to interact with the post, okay? But if your goal is to nurture your existing followers, great. Put a call to action, right? Click on the image, click on subscribe, use the search functionality, okay? So that's how you can utilize social media successfully. So easy peasy, right? Again, from your report, any report, and anyone viewing your report can click on share and share to these three things. Now you might be wondering, what about Instagram? Instagram's a little tricky because they don't like links, right? But there's nothing wrong with sharing an image. The market profile, the market action index on Instagram is a great way to do it. Okay. So consider that as well. Now, if you understand how Facebook works, remember when you share to Facebook, you're getting in front of your current sphere. Okay. So when you're getting in front of your current sphere, great. But what if your goal is to obtain new leads on Facebook? Well, that's where we can help as well. In order to get in front of new people, new leads, that means they have to not be following you. They don't know who you are. So in order to do that, you have to place an ad. Now, you're welcome to go out and place your own ad, or if you have someone who helps you with that, great, right? Take a report, use the report in an ad. It's really well received, okay? But if you don't have the bandwidth to learn how to do that yourself, we will help you. We have a tool called Facebook Promote. So Facebook Promote is an additional cost, okay? But you can determine your budget. But this is how it works. You click on this, you're going to click on the one that you'd like to promote. So let's say you're doing some farming and you're going to go hit a specific neighborhood in San Jose or wherever you are. You're going to click on the associated promote button. Click on it. Here we are. You determine your budget. This is going to run for 7 days. Okay. So once you hit promote now, it's going to start the ticker for 7 days. Okay. You determine your budget. It tells you roughly 6 to 10 leads. You can start with $50. Just, hey, let's check it out. 3 to 5 leads. Okay. You will be charged a credit card on file. Okay. And it will run for 7 days. What will it look like? Just like this. Here's the preview. Okay. It is sponsored by Altos Reports, but Jessica Lucke's market report for San Jose. You know, the San Jose real estate market is hot this spring, but how hot? See all the details, okay? This image, along with 3 other images, are on rotation over the 7 days, okay? So this is what those folks will see. On click, Facebook reaches in, gets their contact information, and sends it to your contact database. They are now subscribed to receiving San Jose, California, or whatever report you've chosen, and they will receive it on a regular basis. My best practice for you, follow up immediately. Consider this lead like any other lead. You do not want to wait on it because by the time you get to it next week, it's far too late. You're spending the money to acquire the leads, follow up immediately. How? Grab their email address. If they provide their phone number, amazing. But reach out to them with your own email client, okay? But hopefully that helps. I know a lot of questions come up about it, but it is an additional cost, but this will get your reports in front of new eyeballs. And that's a great goal to have, okay? And that's social media. All right. So going back, we've got direct mail. So direct mail, a lot of people don't think about direct mail, but it is making a comeback, right? Because email can get a little bit over the top these days. So direct mail's making a comeback. So how would you create direct mail around this? Well, I've got a great example. Here's one. Okay, really like this one. So here's an example of a direct mail piece, right? So you'll see here that you've got this nicely laid out, there's 2 of them, but nicely laid out format. It's going to go direct mail. But what is this? This is a QR code for one of his reports. Okay. So a nice advertisement printed on nice paper goes out direct. How can you create something like this? Well, you're going to have to create this, but it can be simple as well. The key here is the QR code. So you may not be aware that you've got access to QR codes. So we're going to go back to my account. All right. So how do you do a direct mail piece? What we just saw is like a flyer, right? And so what he did is he went to the report that he wanted and grabbed the QR code, single family homes. That's it. Download the QR code, incorporate this into your mailing. Everybody, thank you, COVID, is used to the QR code. Scan it, they can see the report, and they can choose to subscribe. Pretty awesome. Okay, so that's a flyer. Now, what if you wanted to do a postcard? What about going to embed and going to the images, going to the market action index, grabbing the image file for print and the QR code to put right beside it. Here's how the market's behaving. Get more information, scan the QR code. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with what's happening in the market. That's another lead, right? So again, some of these things kind of carry over, but that is a great way to incorporate the data into direct mail pieces, whether it's a flyer, it's a newsletter, it's a postcard. You've got access to image files for print, a QR code to scan, because no one's going to go to their computer when they check the mail and go, what is it? www.what? No, right? Scan it with my phone, view it online, we're good to go. Okay, so direct mail. All right. Open houses. So if anybody's taken any sessions with me, you know I'm pretty passionate about the open houses and the listing presentations. Okay, and so it's all about the reports, but it's how you use the reports. Okay, so let's go back. We're going to go to San Jose, and here's my report. Okay, the online report is great. It's interactive. There's all different types of components. Okay, but when it comes to open houses, unless you're going to display using an iPad or something, you're probably going to want something physical. So I recommend that you click on share and you convert it to a single page PDF. Okay, and that's what this looks like. So here we have a really great presentation piece to use at our open houses. Now, print off multiple copies. You can. You can print off one copy and put it in one of those nice plastic frames. And right beside it, you can put the QR code. Even the kids are going to do it, right? So put a QR code, say, hey, access this report via the QR code. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Now, if you turn on that search function and the subscribe, right, then you're probably going to get more leads that way. Because yes, you can scan it to get San Jose, but what if they're interested in another location? Okay, so this works really well. Now, if you really want to be great, you're going to get the appropriate zip code when you print off the report, and then you're going to dive in a little deeper to a segment that represents that particular open house and talk about the nature of the market. Because what if it is a $1.5 million house in San Jose? Wouldn't it be really nice to let the potential buyers know that it's selling in less than a week? That they should probably get on it, that they need to put their best foot forward? Absolutely. And are you going to find your next buyer at your open house, or are you going to get more seller leads when you say, hey, by the way, this particular price range is selling in less than a week? I better get on that, right? So you get new seller leads potentially as well. Okay, so that's open house. So whether you print off lots of copies, and what if you're using a company account, right? Great. Get the report, attach your business card to it. It's great. So consider that. Now, in addition to that, we've got listing presentations. So again, we've got the online report. This is great. A listing presentation, you're going to be meeting with sellers. Okay, let's say you get the listing. Don't forget to add them to your contact database so that they receive the report every week. Okay, because that's going to be super important. You want to empower your sellers to better understand the market so the relationship between the two of you is outstanding. And you want to be able to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to send a report like this to you every week. I want you to pay special attention to the price decreased. Man, 10%, that's nothing. 35% is considered typical. But you want to make sure that this stays the same or goes down. If we notice that this starts to climb over time, we may have to come back together and talk about the price of your home. Great. Okay. You've empowered that seller. There's no finger pointing. You're good to go. So how do you set it up? You go up to share, convert it to a full report PDF, and you have a great presentation piece to take with you. Now, proactively go through and determine what segment the home falls within. This is a great overview, okay? And then you have your segments. Take a highlighter, highlight the segment the home falls within, and then guide them through this really nice report that provides the chart and some explanation, which is key. But then highlight the segment so that they know how it differentiates from other segments. and you will be the expert in the market, and they will appreciate you more than you know. Okay. All right. And then lastly, we have transactions and negotiations. And we've talked a little bit about these reports, obviously, in different circumstances, whether it's open houses and listing presentations. But when we go back to this report, it's critical that you go beyond, right? So let's say we go 9, 5, 1, 2, 4. Probably not a lot of inventory here. So inventory is an issue everywhere. Yep, 15 pieces. But regardless, when you're working with clients, sharing this information is really important for keeping them up to date. But when you've got buyers who are chomping at the bit, they need your guidance to help them make negotiations, right? They need your guidance to help know what's a good offer, what's putting their best foot forward, when do they have time to kind of lay off a bit. And it's all about the segments, okay? And so being able to dive in a little bit deeper and talk about the nature of the market for them, not their next door neighbor, not somebody else they're competing with, but for them. If you've got clients who are only interested in the luxury market, focus on that top segment. Talk about what they can expect for their money, right? If you have someone who's a first-time buyer with a tight budget and they're in that bottom segment based on the median here, what can they expect for their money? A 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. By the way, the competition is fierce. You got to know somebody before it's being put on the market, basically. Okay. Using the segments here is where you can really help your clients most with making those decisions, whether they're buying or selling. This works the same way, right? And so use these in that way. In addition, you've got the statistics here, the percentage of properties taking a price reduction, what's the percentage of relist? All of those things are important aspects. Just sharing the data so that they feel comfortable making the decision that they make. It's a huge decision. It's a big investment. And so you'll be building that relationship, because the idea is that they come back to you in the future, that they refer people to you in the future. Okay. All right. So listen, I hope that this was really informative, and I'm hoping that it has inspired you to try new things, be interested in sitting down with me to talk strategy, whatever it might be. So before I close it up here, I want to make sure you're aware of where to get information. Now we've got Jeff and we've got Leo on the call doing the chat. They may share with you a link to the ebook. You want to follow up with this? Look at the ebook. It'll share some of these techniques and others, how to answer buyer and sellers questions using the data. I highly recommend it. If you don't get the link today, understand under help, there is a direct link, the ebook Using Market Data, okay? In addition, if you want to learn more about understanding the report, there is the report overview tutorial. It's 14 minutes. I try to keep it as short as possible. And then we've got the quick start guide, okay? So if you want to learn more about the nuances of contacts and campaigns, you're welcome to look at that as well. This is me, whether you like it or not. If you'd like to schedule some time, this is my calendar. You're welcome to do so. Just find a time that works for you. Choose 30 minutes or 60 minutes. I do like to talk a lot, so be aware, but you're welcome to set up a time, okay? And then one of my saving graces is the report explainer. I call this the cheat sheet. So if you want to utilize that explainer, you'll find that again under help, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with a poll. So again, thank you so much for attending today. I hope it was time well spent. I hope you're inspired to do new things. And I want to know what those new things are. So I'm going to do the poll. So hang tight for a second. All right. You should be able to see it now. And so again, as I keep this up for the last minute or so, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. If you want to set up a session, don't forget to go to help, schedule some time there. But I really do appreciate your time today, and I look forward to meeting with you. I look forward to seeing what you do. And this poll will help me determine what the next Lunch and Learn is going to be all about. So I hope to see you in future sessions. Have a great day.